Okay, so on this episode of An Independent Perspective, we're discussing the mass deportation that Tom Homan is headlining as the border czar for Trump, and cover a few key points on this as to why I support it. Before we get into that, though, if you don't mind, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And what doesn't take just a few seconds and be much appreciated. So thank you. So yes, the mass deportation, the border czar Tom Homan, who is carrying out what Trump feels is part of his mandate from the American people, right up there with the economy being as important as that. Safety, the safety of our country, is of the utmost importance. You know, our border was wide open. I mean, wide open. And there's no excuse for that. I understand letting people in to help them out, give them asylum, but what the Biden administration pulled is ridiculous. There's no sense in that. There was nothing to benefit. There's nothing to gain from that at all. So now we're dealing with these gangs, a much larger influx of these gangs, MS-13 and Tren de la Agua here in the United States, that are adding to the crime level, that are causing this mass chaos, allegedly going in and taking entire apartment complexes over, like they did in Colorado, and I'm sure other places, which is, I mean, that's in lockstep with what gangs do anyways. They're very territorial. So it's not hard to believe whatsoever. And I'm in full support of it. I'm in full support of where they're being sent to in El Salvador. I mean, MS-13 is an El Salvador gang. They need to be able to give back to society and worse, and in a better way than what they have, because they've been worse with it, with their contributions, with chaos and death and destruction and fear. So I don't have a problem with what's going on. I know people had a real big issue with what Kristi Noem did down there with her little photo shoot. Her coiffed hair as well, as I heard referenced, and her eyelashes and all that stuff, and something to deal with her skin tight clothes or whatever. But I mean, I'll let you be the judge of that for yourself. And I kind of got a clip, but it's almost behind the scenes where they were being filmed. So yeah. So go ahead and check this out.
First of all, do not come to our country illegally. You will be removed and you will be prosecuted. But know that this facility is one of the tools in our toolkit that we will use if you commit crimes against the American people.
So there you have it. Was it a publicity stunt? I mean, it could have been. It could have been very much. Here I am. Look at me. I'm pretty or whatever. I highly doubt that. I'm being sarcastic. But that needs to be shown. I don't think they show enough, to be honest. I don't think they they show enough of what happens when you come here and you choose to be agents of chaos and add to an already volatile situation. I mean, they were given an open invite essentially anyways to come in the country, and here they are. So now they've been given their hat and asked to leave, or being made to leave, rather. I mean, not definitely being asked. I mean, they had a choice. They could have self-deported. That is also a possibility. A lot of people have. And if they went to the extremes that I felt that they should, and still feel that they should, a lot more would self-deport. But for the sake of my video not being played and allowed to be uploaded to YouTube, I'm going to refrain from elaborating on that. But I mean, good is coming of this. You know, I don't think that a normal, regular migrant who's here to actually work and for the betterment of his family, the betterment of his people, definitely does not need to be treated that way. That is not what I'm saying at all. A gang member, a gangbanger like that, of those two gangs or any other gang, absolutely, 100%, not an issue. Because how humane do you think they are to other people? You know, people out here screaming, you know, like they're these good citizens, these good upstanding citizens that are just being mistreated. It's ridiculous. It's absurd, absolutely absurd. You know, their efforts, Tom Homan's efforts, and ICE's efforts, and some local law enforcement agencies in various different places, their efforts are producing great fruit, and people are being people that need to be removed from this country are getting pulled out, and that's good. Just like this arrest that just happened, where it was the second or third in command of the MS-13 on the East Coast gang. It was just arrested. That's amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
Tonight, an alleged top MS-13 leader is in custody in Northern Virginia. The feds teaming up with state and local law enforcement in a major operation to take him down. Fox 5's Nana Senyo Bonsu in Woodbridge tonight with the details.
About a mile away from here in Dale City is where agencies, including the FBI, captured a suspect connected to MS-13. Tonight, the White House is calling this operation a successful apprehension. Just before 6 o'clock this morning, SWAT teams surrounded the home of 24-year-old Henry Villatoro Santos, believed to be one of the top 3 leaders of MS-13 on the East Coast.
They're one of the most dangerous gangs in our country.
The multi-agency operation led by the FBI blocked off Chippendale Circle. According to court documents, agents breached the front and back doors of the home, released a stun grenade before pulling the suspect out of the home. Authorities say they've had their eyes on his Dale City home where Santos lives with his mom for the entire month. Some of these agents are members of a special task force created by President Donald Trump. Their job is to locate and arrest illegal immigrants responsible for violent crimes in the country.
Over the last 4 weeks, we have gone to work untangling, gone to work putting together the cases and arresting these horrific criminals. These criminals that live in our neighborhoods.
Neighbors we spoke with still can't believe that a gang leader described as worst of the worst lived in their community.
We live in Prince William County.
Victor Angry is a Prince William County supervisor. The arrest happened in his district.
We've taken a high-profile criminal off the streets.
Santos was taken into custody on an outstanding immigration warrant. During the search of the home, officials say they found several firearms, ammunition, and 2 suppressors.
I am very ecstatically happy with the performance of today's action, and that is another step in the goal of us in public safety.
And tonight, Santos is being held at the Alexandria Adult Detention Center.
So yeah, I mean, as you saw in that clip, that's a large win. That's huge. That's a wonderful success, and more needs to happen like that. There isn't anyone above the law unless you got enough money. I mean, we learned that too. with several people as of late. Like I said, I can understand as far as being humane towards migrants that are clearly here because they're escaping either far worse conditions and they're here to try to better themselves. I've worked with migrants before. I worked for Aspen Tree Service for several years. I transferred from here in Kentucky down to Baton Rouge when I moved down there back in 99, end of 99, early 2000. And worked with a lot of Hispanic people, Latinos. And I remember one day we was driving by one of the substations and there was almost about 30, there was 30 trucks in there, some manual trucks, which were for climbers. And there was several bucket trucks in there, but that's 2 and 3 man crews. Except for the manual trucks, you could have 4 or 5 guys on that crew because they had a dog box in the back that had a bench in there, and 3 or 4 guys could sit in there too, with the 2 or 3 guys in the cab. But all these trucks were locked up inside that substation, and I was like, "What? Like, what's going on with those? Are those new trucks? Those new crews coming in?" No, they were all illegal. Every single one of those people were in the United States illegally with fake IDs, fake credentials. And they all got busted and deported. Most of them ended up back. I mean, they do. They come straight back, and just go to other parts of the country with a new ID. I've seen that happen multiple times. And these people are really trying. These people are trying to better their lives. They are participating in the growth of their local economy by paying taxes and working their butts off. So those people need to be most assuredly treated humanely. I don't agree so much with all the others. I just don't. You know, something that I find kind of funny when it comes to, I mean, Trump's going to get harped on about everything. Everything he does is going to be scrutinized and cast down in a negative way, no matter what it is. That man could literally discover the cure for cancer and they would spin it. He just cut the throats of big pharma because he just cured a bunch of sick people. So how are these companies going to make all this money? And these people that work for these companies, how are they going to, pay their bills? They come up with something silly like that. It doesn't matter what he does. And I'm most assuredly not saying he's flawless and he is infallible by no stretch of the imagination. That I'm not naive and silly like that. But they give him crap over what he wants to do, what he wants to achieve, as far as the mass deportation, the level that he really wants to ramp it up to, and the head count. So I did some research, and I have found that. First of all, Biden is on the low end. That it's a joke. It's a joke on the deportations for his entire term, his 4-year term. Obama, for some reason, was known as the deporter in chief, which I don't understand that because Clinton takes it all. Clinton has it all. He has it wrapped up as far as the numbers go. They can't even touch that man. Like it's insane. It's insane. The levels that they go to. As a matter of fact, I'll show you. I'll pull up the chart here right now. So yeah. I mean, look here. You got Clinton. These 3 right here, 8-year terms. Clinton's total deportations, 12,290,905. That's above what Trump even wants to do. They speculate 10 to 15 million. They keep going back and forth with those numbers. But then you look here at the Bush. I think this is Bush Jr. He's close to Clinton, but he's still off by almost 2 million. And Obama way down there. Like that's just crazy. How he ended up with the nickname Deporter in Chief, I will not understand that ever. Same length of terms. Both of them, every one of them, 2 terms back to back. And they still give Trump all kinds of crap. And hold on, I have another one to pull up that'll have Trump and Biden's. Just 1 second. So here you have a graph chart with Obama, Trump, and Biden. As you can see, look at the vast difference. Obama's still beating Trump. Of course, so when it comes to the mass deportation, part of Trump's mandate, as he feels that it is his mandate to bring our country back, as he says, make America great again. You can see why. I mean, I can see why it has, apart from what the general public of the United States of America told him with electing him as president once again. But you see with Biden's on that graph chart how little he cared. See, this is a driving force for him. What people aren't factoring in, I don't think, is how much they hammered Trump with all those court cases. I'm not saying that he was innocent in all of them, by no means, but the absolute lawfare and warfare that they waged on this man. And then you take the administration that was the prior administration not caring about this country really at all. They cared about their agendas. They cared about foreign affairs far more than they cared about the United States of America. They showed that religiously. And if you don't see that, then I think you have a problem. You have a problem with seeing what Biden's administration truly was about. Do I agree with everything Trump's doing? Not at all. I don't. Do I agree with his methodology and everything and the way he's executing stuff? Nope. I think he gets a little unhinged, or extremely unhinged. I mean, a little is being nice. Do I think the end result of some of his stuff is going to be good for this country? I absolutely do. Getting a bunch of gang members out of this country that don't need to be here, that are just adding to the chaos, is something that's good, and it's something I get behind. And sending them to prison is fine. One of the other things that people have talked about, and then I'll wrap this up, is the separation of families. It is sad. But that happens every day in this country, hundreds of times a day with U.S. citizens. When you screw up, when you break the law, and you go to jail, or you have to go into a treatment facility because of drug addiction, guess what's happening? The families are getting separated. It's no different. That's what I'm talking about. People want to put the rest of the world before this country. That's another thing that drives Trump. It's another thing that drove all these people to the polls to vote for him. Because that's the stuff that's been screamed at them about other countries' borders and other countries this and who cares? If your home isn't right, if your home isn't good, nothing else matters. That's how I'll run this house. My family's not going to go without. And it encompasses people outside this house, like my kids that are grown, that I'll drop anything to go run in to help. They're mine to look after. I'm supposed to take responsibility like that. Our leaders of our country are supposed to take responsibility like that. And they've been neglecting this country. So yeah, I 100% agree with the mass deportation. 100%. And Trump's going to do what Trump's going to do, period. Y'all, you have to remember that from his first term. And now he's really got it set up to pull a lot of triggers and flip a lot of switches. So I'm going to do like I always do. I'm gonna keep hitting the road 10 toes down, and that's the new catchphrase, new slogan people have been using, which is actually kind of cool. It reminds me of some things I learned in martial arts over the years that I've trained in, as far as your stance and incorporating your entire body into your strikes and stuff like that, all the way down to your toes. It makes sense, I'm sure, to other martial artists. But anyways, not to get sidetracked here. what Trump is doing, he's going to do. So I'm going to do what I need to do to make sure my family's right. That's all I can do. That's all I have control over. So anyways, just tell me, let me know what you guys think, by all means, comment. I've had great conversation on some of my videos and I enjoy that. That's the whole point of this I didn't realize how cathartic it was going to be for me, but it really is. But it's also to invoke these conversations and thought processes and critical thinking, which I also love. I have endless hours to do so with my job. But anyways, thank you guys. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.